right, grab bands. If you have them, don't worry if you don't. I'm just going to tell you how to engage muscles if you don't have the bands. We're just going to use them on our arms for a little counter strength. I'm going to crackle in my voice today, a little itchy in my eyes. It is not any illness. We started working on the tavern and I dropped a ceiling panel on myself.
My eyes are so
It was quite spectacular, but the amount of dust that came into my eyes and my face is quite something. So I've washed, my hands are orange from my gloves too. I've washed, but there's still a lot of stuff in there. So if you hear me croaking or coughing, please don't panic. We're fine. We're just gross.
Yeah, we're just dirty because
we're just really dirty because the tavern is really,
turned into
really dirty.
Post-construction or post-demolition yoga.
Yeah. So we're actually working on this tavern for a couple of hours every day right now. So when we make it to the studio, we're already a little bit tired.
My eyes burn from all the dust.
All right. So stretch and strength yoga today. Doing a little moving and opening, and then a little getting stronger, and then a little getting longer again. So we're gonna focus on legs and arms and kind of whole body. So maybe letting go of bad attitudes. No fingers pointed anywhere. All right, so start to land on your mat. We're going to start seated today. So just land in a seat, however you're comfortable sitting for a few moments. We're going to be here for just a little bit. So just make sure you're comfortable. Maybe put something underneath the hips, a towel, a cushion, whatever you have. Sit on your hips. Maybe bring your eyes closed and feel your hands. So just bring some gentle movements. Bring your one thumb over to the palm of the other hand and take circles right at the pads of the fingers. So do this with your eyes closed, really feeling your hand. So making little circles, giving a little self-massage to the hand. Starting to really feel the hands. And then bring your thumb to the back pad, so right near the wrist. And make little circles, little movements here. And then stroke around on the pad of the thumb. Just looking for places where you're holding tension. Our hands do so much work for us and we hardly ever pay them any attention. Sometimes we can be holding so much tension in here. And the reason why we do so much work on our hands in yoga is because the way to make a joint healthier is to load it. So we load our wrists, we load our hands to make them stronger. So switch hands, move to the other hand, make circles on the pads at the base of the fingers. Finding your breath, starting to really tune in and find your breath. And then around by the wrist and up onto the thumb, the pad of the thumb. Then bring your hands to prayer, interlace the fingers and pull the fingers apart, locking the fingers. And then flip the palms away from you and press them away from you, opening up your arms, lengthening your arms. Let that go. Take soft circles with your wrists and then land your hands on your lap wherever is comfortable. And just really notice the palms of the hands. Place all of your awareness in the palms of the hands. Try to practice letting go of awareness of everything else. And just landing in your hands. letting go of worries of tomorrow, thoughts of the past, and just landing right here in this moment, in this body. And then we'll begin to move with our breath. So taking an inhale with our chin center. Exhale, turn the chin to a shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, turn. Taking the time to really tune into natural stopping points left and right. Noticing if they're different. Noticing what it seems to be that is holding on. Noticing any gripping. Bring the chin back to center. Take the arms up and move from the rib cage up. Inhale, center. Exhale, twisting. Trying to get taller and taller and taller from the hips to the crown of the head. Noticing if you're pushing into one hip or the other. Trying to compete with yourself. You're trying to push into a foot to squeeze a little more distance. Notice that. Ask yourself, why are you competing? Who are you competing with? And find the muscles in the stomach to make this turn. Squeezing and wringing out this center of your core. Bring the arms down. Bring one shoulder at a time slowly up to the ears. Maybe still moving with the breath. And then bring the chin all the way down to the chest. Connect with what's tight in the back of the neck. And slowly as you can, take your head in a big, slow circle. Try not to drop the skull backwards, but to feel the points, the back of your neck when your head is back, using your muscles. Back to center and then all the way back in the opposite direction. Remembering the chin back to center. Roll the shoulders all the way forward and then all the way back, forward and back. And then make your way over to a tabletop position. Take your time. So set up at tabletop. If you always have your hands close to you or always together or always far apart, switch it up today. Find a different place for your hands and wrists. The more that you change it up, the more that you work different angles in your body, the healthier it is. So inhaling forward in tabletop, exhaling, sending the hips backwards. Finding your breath, finding familiar patterns, tuning in, moving with your breath. And if you have the bands, you can wrap the bands around your forearms and just start to connect with pulling the band apart. If you don't have the band, just place your arms on the ground and then try to pull the mat apart like you're tearing it apart. And continue with the moving and breathing. Inhaling forward, tabletop shape. Exhaling backwards towards a child's. Starting to engage the arms and shoulders. Bring it to a tabletop, still engaging the arms and shoulders. Lift the knees to a hover, engage the stomach. Take the tension out of the neck and the face. Squeeze and hold. And you can lower the knees and return to just tabletop to child, or send the legs towards straight and then lower the knees.
I thought red was lighter than blue.
Inhale forward. Exhale, sending it back, keeping the knees hovering, keeping the core active and strong. And then meet me in a child's. Let your band go if you have it. And back to a tabletop. Take the arms pretty far from the shoulders. Take the right leg up even with the hip. Lift and hold. Active right leg. Bring the right leg across the body. Tap it down. Right leg all the way out to the right side. Tap it down nice and slow and with control. You can place something in underneath the left knee. You can wiggle the leg around. Take the weight out of the left knee a little by pulling your core towards your spine. Right leg stays active and strong, not floppy. And then take the right leg even with the hips, lower the toes and press through the heel. Open up the back of the leg. Take the tension out of the face and neck. Soften the face. And lower the right knee. Take a little reset. Left leg up. Hold and hover. Try not to sink into the shoulders. Strong, active arms, active stomach. And then all the way back behind you. Tap. All the way over to the left and tap. Nice and slow and with control and strong active leg and glutes. Glutes on both sides, not just the left leg. See if you can find some muscles in the stomach to engage. And then take the right leg even with the hip, lower the toes, press through the heel. Lower the knee. Come on up to down dog. Come on, Kaylee, you can do it. Find your version of warming up down dog, whether it's swaying the hips side to side, bending the knees. Find what works. If you always bend the knees, maybe try taking the hips side to side. Change it up.
I'm upside down and knocked all the stuff off my shirt and my nose and all those sneeze.
Find the stillness of down dog. Connect with your head below your heart. Find your breath. Take the tension out of your neck, tension out of your face.
See stuff falling off.
Bend the knees, look towards the hands, and either take 1,000 tiny steps or a little hop towards the top of the mat. Find your feet underneath your hips, bend into the knees and hands onto the thighs. And we're going to bend and straighten the legs. So bending down deeply, inhale as you send the legs towards straight. Get long from the hips to the crown of the head, engage stomach. Find the breath, find some movement. If you want to activate the legs, feel like you're pulling the feet apart. Or if you want to really challenge yourself, throw the band on your shins and really pull the band apart. The blue one is too easy. Oh.
It is really easy.
It's too easy. Your legs are too strong for the blue one. So then pulling apart with the band, bending, and
So
straight.
I think it's just they're too big.
Take your feet a little bit wider. And then same thing. Bend the knees. Inhale as you send them towards straight. Really trying to find more muscles on the legs. Moving with your breath. Slide the left foot a little bit forward, the right foot a little bit backwards. If you have the band, keep it. Keep the legs pulling away from each other. Square up the hips. Maybe even feel the hips so that you know that they're square. Active legs, and then start to lean forward with the torso until you feel the back of the left leg fire up. Maybe lift the toes and press down into the ball of the left foot. Find where this left leg feels warm but is not screaming at you. Kayla's like, my leg is screaming, I'm coming up. Come on up, switch sides. Right leg goes forward, left leg goes back. Keep your legs engaged. So if you don't have the band, push your feet into the mat and then feel like you're pulling them away from each other, pulling them away from the feet. Tearing the mat in half between the feet. Lean, engage, maybe lift the toes of the right foot. Stomach engaged. Along the spine.
Trying to make sure my knee doesn't
So you can bend the leg deeply and pull back from the hip bone.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm doing. It's painful. It's actually stretching.
Get your hand off your knee. Slowly come on up. If you have the band, you're going to step left foot out and right foot out. If you don't, you're just going to move hips side to side. So stepping heel to heel while pushing into the band or holding your legs down and moving your hips side to side. Really engage the legs. Push into the band if you have it, Kaylee. No cheating.
It's like some dance we, the start of some dance we do in like 3rd.
So find all of the leg. Find some more muscles. Maybe change how the leg is bending, how the hip is moving. Find some more opening in the inner thigh maybe. And then step it in, hip width. Let go of the band if you have it. Tap the feet, heel the feet. And we'll connect with our breath. Inhaling up, prayer overhead, down to our heart with the exhale. Inhale up, exhale down. One more time. Hold your prayer at your heart. Maybe even close your eyes. Find your grounding. Find your center. Arrive on your feet. Maybe take a little movement of the weight around on your feet. Feeling how it feels to stand on your own 2 feet in this moment of time. We're going to work the hips a little, so stepping back out into a little bit wide. Slow, gentle, I promise. So you can bring the weight onto the left leg, bring the right knee up and around in a big circle, then plunk it down. Inhale as you come up, Exhale, you come down. Inhale up, exhale down. Working the hips, finding muscles in the hips. And if you like, you can start to make this.
I think Joey does that in French. I think that's why I'm doing that.
You can start to make this bigger by taking it back all the way around, stepping in. So making a full circle before you step.
Oh, wait.
Nice and slow and with control. Woo. And then land it down.
This is fun. Let's keep doing this. No more hip.
Take it side to side with the hips, like you're skiing. So really just working through the legs.
It's not. You've clearly never skied.
Sorry, this is ice skating. I meant ice skating. Skiing is so ice skating. That's funny. Wrong sport. You got it. Alright, stepping back in. Inhale up. Connect our breath this time. Sink the hips, baby chair. Find your chair. More awareness in the stomach. Pull the hip bones together. Less tension in the lower back. Less tension in the shoulders. Less tension in the face. All right, start to move here, challenging our balance. So just beginning by bringing right knee up and then down. Left knee up and then down. Start to make it nice, slow movements from this chair position. And maybe you want to stay with this, working the legs. Or bring the right knee up, send it behind, land, slow and controlled. All the way back up, land, sit. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale leg back. Inhale forward. Exhale leg to chair. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale down. Take it as big or as small as you feel you need today. Or just completely stop.
I still need to sneeze. That hurts.
Complete a full round. So last round on the left leg.
Oh, okay.
Bring it down. Baby chair. Sit here. Squeeze. Hold. Active legs. See if you can feel like you're pushing into bands on the outsides of your legs.
Feel that like here, all over the place, basically all here.
Bring the hips a little bit further down. A little bit further down. See if you can take this more into your core. We tend to use the lower back when we start to sink the hips. Use your core. Bring it down. Come on all the way up nice and slow. And you're either going to lower the hips with us or find the challenge of lifting the heels. Lower the hips. Nice and slow. Stomach engaged. Find the challenge. You can do it. Don't bring the hips to the heels. Come all the way back up. Lower it down. Bring the weight onto the left leg. Bring the right leg in. Squeeze it in. Flex the foot. Send the knee past the left, grab the foot. So, grab the foot, push the foot into the hand, find the quad. Find front of the right thigh, press. Let that go. Left leg up, squeeze. Flex the foot. Tall spine. Send the left knee past the right, grab the foot, press the foot into the hand, find the front of the left thigh. Bring that down, and you're going to take right knee up, open it up to the side, and as slow as you can, land into a warrior two. So find your warrior two base, find your legs getting nice and strong. Then lift your arms. Find your breath. See if you can find those opposite sensations of pressing the feet into the ground and then lifting from the arches. And rather than sinking into the joints, going all the way down to some kind of imaginary goal, see if you can active around the knee, strong around the knee. Pull up out of the hip so that your hips are nice and strong. Find a good, sturdy base. Then find your arms nice and strong. And find your breath. We're going to take nice slow arm circles here. So moving from the torso, moving from the rib cage up, take the right arm in a big slow circle. Letting go of tension in the shoulder. Finding your breath. Still strong, active base. Press the arms like you're pressing the walls away from you. And then send this left leg towards straight. So finding a little bit of a triangle leg pose. You may want to pop the back leg in, wiggle it in a little. We're going to start to open up inner thigh on the left leg. So pressing down into the right foot. Press under the ball of the big toe, under the ball of all the toes. Press down a little bit on the right side of the foot. Press down into the heel. Send that strength all the way up to the hip. Get long in the torso. We're going to take the left arm, float it out as far as it can go. Reach, reach, reach. Stomach engaged. Keep the torso floating. Lower the left arm. You're still floating. Right arm comes up. We're going to bring that right hand to meet the left. Nice and slow with control. Inhale, open. Exhale, hands meet. Inhale, open. Exhale, hands meet. Mindful of the knees here, so the legs need to stay strong and active. Feet firm on the ground. Bring the right hand down to meet the left. We're going to get really strong. Take the left, reach it out as far as it can go to the left. Maybe even tuck it behind you. Reach that right arm longer, longer, longer. Press down into the ball of the left foot, pull back. Find the back of the left leg. Breathe, hold. Bring it all the way back up. Find your warrior two. Kaylee is fried, so she's going to be complaining in the back the whole class. Lower the right hand, flip the palm of the left, reach up, open up left side rib cage. So opening the left without compromising the right. Reach up long and strong. Sink into the legs, pull your muscles around the joints, find strength. Straighten up the front leg, turn the toes, so toes are out, heels are in. If you have a block, grab a block. If you don't, you're just going to hold on to your hips. So we're going to take some movement here. First, getting really long in the legs, long in the spine, pressing into the feet, pulling them out apart. Legs are strong. Then come down so your hips and your shoulders are about even. You have the block, hold on to it. If you don't, hold on to your thighs. So find some movement here. Begin to take the left hip down to the ground. Slowly move. Find the right hip going down to the ground. So finding the inner thigh, finding a little movement here with the legs long and strong. So really pressing into the feet. Try not to send the knee back into the back of the joint. And you can stay with this little micro movement, or you can begin to bend one knee at a time, maybe even popping up the toes of the opposite foot. Bending left leg, popping up toes of right, really starting to feel inner thighs. And you can stay here just experiencing the legs. Or if you want to find a little strength challenge here, you're going to bring the torso back up. Bend the left knee, lift the heel of the right. Slowly through, stomach engaged, bend the right knee, lift the heel of the left. Nice and slow and with control. So once you land, bend the right knee, lift the heel, lift the toes of the left, pull the heel towards you, activate the leg. Switch, bend, pull that heel. Nice and strong and slow. Then bring it back to center. Land the legs. We're going to inhale and open the right arm up towards the right. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, open left. Exhale, bring it down. Slowly bringing your hands to your hips. Take a deep inhale and rise all the way up. Turn right toes out and find warrior two on the right leg. So find your base. Maybe wiggle your feet around. Find where your legs and your hips feel strong and comfortable. Open up your hands. Breathe. Nice and strong in the legs, active around all of the joints, and then long, slow circles with the left arm. Land your warrior two, press the walls away from you. Send the front leg towards a triangle, so straighten up that front leg, maybe wiggle in the back a little. Floating triangle, so you need your legs nice and strong. Find strong legs first. Pull your feet towards you without letting them move. Right arm is going to push away from you as far as it can go. Torso strong and active, and then let the arm come down. Left arm up. Deep inhale, exhale, left arm meets the right. Inhale, left opens. Legs strong, find some core. Bring that left hand down to meet the right. Hold it here. Lift the right all the way out to the right. Strong and active here. Maybe tuck it behind you. Reach the left hand a little further away from you. Draw the heel of the left foot towards the hip. Active and strong. Right arm back. Left arm open. Find your warrior two. Maybe wriggle out, find your base. Drop the left arm, flip the right palm, reach that right arm up, opening up right rib cage. Send your breath there. And then bring it back, warrior two. Windmill the arms, frame out the right foot. Send right to meet left, high plank. Breathe and hold. You can lower the knees Or follow in a plank challenge, that same opening of arms. Take the right hand all the way to the outside of the mat. Bring the weight onto the right hand. Inhale, lift left hand up. Exhale, place left hand on the wide side of the mat. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, right arm down, left arm up. Inhale, exhale. Nice and strong in the core. Lower the knees. Find a child's pose. Catch your breath. Catch your thoughts. Bring the torso up just a little bit. Wriggle the hands so that they're even with the shoulders. So left hand comes to the left, right hand comes out to the right. Press into the ground. Get really strong pressing into the ground. And open up the shoulders. Take the left armpit a little bit more down towards the ground, opening up the front of the shoulder. And take the right armpit all the way towards the ground, a little bit towards the ground, sorry. Take the left armpit over. Right armpit over, mindful of any tension in the neck. Start to find a little bit of movement here, just feeling opening and stretching through the shoulders. And then take your hands far, far away from you and lower the forearms. Press the hands down actively into the ground. We're going to lift our torso up, bring our shoulders towards our hands, and then send our armpits down towards the ground. Inhale as we come forward, strong arms, strong shoulders. Exhale, send our armpits down to the ground. And then find that point where you can have your hands hold in the ground, arms strong on the ground. Armpits are going towards the ground. And loosen your head. Take the tension out of your neck. Soften into the ground. What can you let go of? Coming up to tabletop. Left hand, right knee in line with right hand. Bring left toes out long, and we're gonna come on up with the left shoulder. So get long from the left toes, and then lift up the left arm, squeeze the core. And if you like, you can drop the left arm up over the head, opening up the left side body. You can play with where the foot is, feeling where the stretch feels better for you. Lifting up out of this right side, not jumping into the right shoulder. Plant the left foot down on the ground. And then slowly come on up with the torso. Looking at this left leg, find the point where you feel a little opening in the left. And then you're gonna lift the right arm up. Try not to press into the knee with the left hand. Open up right side body. Come forward, forward towards that left toe. Breathe. slowly back through center. Lower the left knee, take the right knee out. Find nice strong leg. And then right hand comes towards right toe, left arm comes up and over. Breathe. Slowly lower left hand down, leave left toe where it is, and reach up with the right arm or over the head. Stretching from the fingertips to the toes. Slowly coming back to neutral. If it's comfortable on your knees, stay on your knees. If you need to, bring something in under your knees. We're going to work a little bit on our back. So you can tuck your toes or leave them flat. We're going to think about pushing our hips forward rather than arching our back. Bring our fingertips down, pointing down towards the ground. On our hips, bring our elbows towards each other. Press our hips forward. Press them further forward. Legs should be strong and engaged. That same sensation, imagine you have the band, and if you like, you can even put the band on your thighs. Press your thighs outwards, press your hips forwards, and then send your shoulders backwards. Try not to drop the head. Breathe and hold. Imagine undoing gravity. Slowly bring the hips back to neutral. Take a little reset. One hand on top of the other, thumbs touching. Find your breath. Slowly bring the hips back up. Set up again, fingertips down. Press the hips forward. Active and strong in the thighs and hips. Then tilt the shoulders backwards. Breathe and hold. Slowly bring the hips back to neutral. Try switching which hand was on top. Thumbs touching. Breathe. A little bit more leg stretchy. So options here. You can bring the left leg forward with the right knee down, sending this leg toward left leg towards straight, pulling the toes towards you, and then moving forward, sinking the hip down, trying to stay off the knee and the back. You're not really on it. You're active and strong in your core. So moving forward and back like this. If you are working on your splits, you can start to wiggle back and forth, moving the legs, moving the hips, finding your splits nice and slow. So moving in this position. Finding some strength. Finding what you need to let go of. And then switching sides. Right leg comes forward. And either drawing the hips back and then coming forward. Opening up the hips, moving with your breath. Or wiggling in, finding your splits. Noticing if one side is tighter than the other. And then slowly bring both knees down. Send the legs out in front. Get really, really long in the spine. Engage the core, pull it tight towards the spine, and lean back until you can lift the toes. Longer in the spine, longer in the spine. Pull the sternum back towards your back. Breathe, hold, maybe let go of the legs. Slowly lower down all the way to your backs. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Let go. Start to land on the ground. Open up and do some lengthening, some opening. So holding on just below your knees, take your legs in little circles. Thinking about circles for the hips. Knees out and then in. And then switch the direction. Take right knee over left and bring the knees in towards the chest. Feel like you're bringing feet to opposite shoulders. Maybe grab the shins. Feel that tight muscle that hides in under the glutes and piriformis. Breathe into it. Try not to yank into it, but breathe into it, soften into it. Find less tension here. Slowly unravel, switch sides. Slowly unravel, bring both feet down about hip width apart. Take a little shuffle of the hips. Bring the right ankle across it just underneath the left knee. Press the right knee away from you. Hips nice and even. Bring the backs of the arms so that they're pressing into the ground. Try not to flatten the neck. And then we're going to press the hips a little bit up, trying to keep the hips really stable. So squeeze the glutes, squeezing the core, still pressing the right knee away from you, opening up the hip. Breathe and hold. Slowly lower the hip. Bring the left knee towards you, maybe reaching through and grabbing the left thigh. And slowly unravel, right leg down, left foot underneath right knee. Press the left knee away from you. Press the backs of the arms into the ground. Lift the hips. Breathe and hold. Slowly lower the hips, bring the right knee towards you, maybe even grabbing the thigh. Breathing, letting go. Slowly unravel, take the left leg, point it long, take it all the way to the far left corner of your mat. Take the right leg, point it long, take it all the way to the far right corner of the mat. Squeeze your feet a little bit further over to the edges, taking up space. Wiggle your hips, take all the tension out of your hips and lower back. Wiggle your neck, take the tension out of your neck. Pick your shoulders up, reach your arms to the ceiling like zombie arms. soft arms. You're reaching your arms to the ceiling. Let your shoulders plop. Zombie arms up, plop your shoulders. Zombie arms up, plop your shoulders. Take a couple of rounds trying to wiggle those shoulders, get rid of the tension, and then let your arms plop open, as wide open as you can. Really taking up space. What does it feel like to have permission to take up space? Sometimes we feel like we need to be small to be accepted. We make ourselves less than. We look in the mirror and we say to ourselves, I am too much. I am too much of this or too much of that. I'm too loud. I'm too tall. I'm too short. I'm too fat. I'm too skinny. All these too muches. Try to take a moment here. Just giving yourself permission to take up space. What does it feel like to land in your physical body, no matter what its shape, no matter what this moment in time has had before it or what might come next? You are right here in this body right now, and what does that feel like? Bring your awareness to the soles of your feet. Widen your toes. Stretch your toes really wide. Take up some more space with your feet. And then let your feet soften. Take your hands, spread your fingers wide. Take some more space with your hands. And then let your hands soften. Think about your face. How many times have you looked in the mirror and judged your face as too much of something? Squeeze up your face into some kind of tight, hideous face squeezed shape. Squeeze it tight. Squeeze it. Like you're trying to close your eyes so tight you can't see. And then let it soften. Let your face just be as it is. Take out the tension. Find some softness under the rib cage. Find some softness in front of the hips. Find some softness in around the lips, around the cheeks, around the eyes, across the temple. Can you soften your gums in your mouth? Soften your tongue. Can you soften the inside of your right ear? Maybe giving yourself some more space to hear. Soften the inside of the left ear. And then soften the throat. How many times have you judged your voice as too much of something or too little of something? Can you allow your throat to become so soft that your voice just is what it is? Your breath begins to move by a little more freely. Take all the muscular force out of your breath. Let all the tension go in your breath. Soften from the nose all the way down to the lungs. Soften around the diaphragm, under the rib cage. And then land right in the center of your mind. Bringing a little softness and awareness here. Can you take up space in your mind? Can you give your mind permission to be whatever it is that it is today? Taking away any preconceived notions of what meditation should or should not be. Can you land in that space and just see what's here? And give yourself permission to just be here. Noticing that you can notice your thoughts. And then perhaps noticing a little space in between the thoughts. As you're resting here in the mind space, notice if something bothers you. Notice if a little judgment trickles in. If maybe you're laying here and suddenly you're thinking about the to-do list. And then you get mad because you don't think that that is what you should be doing. Let go of that word of should. Notice that the to-do list came in. That is natural. That's what the mind does. Notice that it did that. And then return to just watching it. And if this seems particularly difficult to keep practicing, notice physically what happens when you get mad at yourself or frustrated. Notice perhaps there's some tension in your face or somewhere else in the body. And just focus in on softening there. And while you're focusing on softening and loosening, oftentimes you've forgotten about what it was that distracted you. And we're closing in on the 60-minute mark, so if you have something that you need to get ready to go and do, begin to bring awareness back to the physical body, bringing some little movements to the fingers and the toes. Slowly bringing a knee in at a time and curling up in a little ball on whatever side is calling to you. Taking a moment to curl up in a ball and notice the opposite. So notice what it feels like to curl up, to feel this protective posture of the body. The opposite of this lying open and taking space. Imagine being wrapped in a little ball, wrapped in a a bubble of energy, protective energy. Grounding down and arriving back in the room. And then finishing up by coming slowly to a seated position and bringing your hands to prayer at heart space. This gesture of bringing our left and right sides to meet in front of our hearts, as if accepting ourselves as whole and complete, exactly as we are. May you find space to accept your past. May you find the strength to let go of the future. May you find the love to remain in the present and love yourself as whole and complete, so that we may all love each other as whole and complete on our own journey. May we all know love, light, and connection. Thank you for joining us.